For a city that considers itself unique, Boston has a lot of retail establishments that you'd find in any other American city. Think Whole Foods, Starbucks, and even Dunkin Donuts. As far as trends go, the rise of chain stores seems irresistible, but now some Boston city councilors think they've found a way to push back. Adam Reilly has more.
A few weeks ago, the North End was up in arms over a push to put a Starbucks in one of Boston's most distinctive neighborhoods.
Are we planning to be New York City, that big, crumbling, ugly city, and take away the charm?
Ultimately, the developer backed down. But now, thanks to the Boston City Council, the debate over chain stores proliferating in the city is intensifying.
This is not a prohibition on chain stores within Boston.
A zoning change proposed by Michelle Wu and two other Boston City councilors would make expansion a bit more difficult for chains. They'd have to get what's called a conditional use permit to open in the city's business districts, meaning a public zoning hearing and maybe more local opposition.
Time and time again, we see that when our local business owners have built the districts, when things are going really well, it becomes very attractive for national chains. And when those corporate entities come in, they simply can't compete, head to head when the landlord's making that decision.
But if it passes, it's not just national corporate giants that could be affected.
It's like, why another hurdle?
Vince Petrick is the founder and owner of the beloved local ice cream chain J.P. Licks, which has 14 locations and 3 more on the way. He says he's realizing a vision outlined by the late mayor Tom Menino.
He turned to me and he said, you know something, I really would love to see a J.P. Licks in every neighborhood in Boston because you're good for Boston, I was so touched by that.
Patrick thinks the new city council proposal is well-intentioned but overzealous. He suggests an exemption for local chains like his and says if a small independent business is good enough, competition from cookie-cutter competitors shouldn't be a problem.
We've had chains open up where we already had shops, and they lasted a year or two and they went out of business. Why? Because people in neighborhoods vote with their wallets. No business is going to survive without customers.
But Wu says it's not quite that simple, because these days chains can drive local businesses out before they go head-to-head.
When it comes to profit motives, landlords will choose national chains over local businesses 100% of the time. And that's because the national businesses come with more predictable credit lines, they come with better financing.
Adam Reilly joins me now. Hey, Adam, how are you? I wrote it down. So what does getting a conditional use permit actually mean? What does that mean?
If I understand it correctly, and the zoning guidelines are kind of complex. First, the BPDA, I was going to say the BRA, but the Boston Planning and Development Agency gets this request. They get to kick the tires on it, make a recommendation. Then there's a public hearing where the Zoning Board of Appeals makes a final decision and the public gets to weigh in.
Well, that's the key line. The public gets to weigh in. So this carve out for local chains, any other tweaks they're thinking about here or no?
One thing that the founder of J.P. Licks, Vince Petrick, suggested to me is maybe set the threshold higher. Right now it's 11 stores. He thought, and he's self-interested here, but
14.
maybe make it 100, right? So you're dealing with Starbucks and McDonald's and not a place like his.
Okay, and let's ask in the honor of Wes Hazard, the $53,000 question. Yeah. Where's the mayor?
The mayor apparently is reviewing this. That's what I've been told by his spokesperson. I was told that he welcomes discussions about development, but it is worth mentioning that while he helped keep Starbucks out of the North End, he was the one who said basically don't do this. He also does his community coffee hours with Dunkin Donuts and Whole Foods, so he doesn't hate all chain stores.
Perfect. Adam, good to see you.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.